Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm your host, Harvey Freed. We've got an awesome panel today. We've got Becky Alley. There she is on our Zoom broadcast. Hey, Becky.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I did my hair. You're welcome.
Yeah, right. In our radio, the listeners out there can see the hair, but our Zoom broadcast definitely can't. Hey, she brings on Michelle Saward, eXp Realty. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
Michelle, the voice of Southeast Michigan, always representing all the hardworking real estate agents out there and totally in the trenches. Always fun to have you on, Michelle, because I don't have to talk so much.
What are you getting at?
I don't even know what that means, but you have a lot more to say than I do. No, I'm on the finance side, of course, and we are brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Call us, get that strong approval letter. We'll set you up with these great real estate agents like Michelle. Michelle, I mean, it's the same, yeah, we're hot. The market's crazy. What else is going on out there that was interesting in the last couple of weeks? And I've said this to a couple of the agents recently. In your purchase world, what's going on out there that's a little bit different, maybe even something that might be different going into the fall season?
It's interesting. I'm having these kind of conversations about getting ready for fall. I mean, we're still in quite a seller's market. I mean, the joke that I think posted on Facebook this week was like that they're looking for, something with a family room, a dining room, and a little room to negotiate. Well, that's the hardest house to find right now, is one with a little room to negotiate. So we're right now, just moving into fall. I think you might find that you're going to see inventory already low. You might find a little bit of a pullback, which is common for this time of year, that people don't want to get involved in those winter moves. So it's that last final push of like, okay, let's see if we can move those boxes before the snow starts to fly. Or you might just see some of those, senior citizens and so forth like that just will not participate in a winter move. So.
Back.
Yeah, I feel like, what I was curious about is like, the fact that there was such a lag, right? So like March and April, forget about it, right? It was like a dead halt, almost like there was almost zero. I mean, there wasn't zero transactions taking place. Obviously, you had to get creative on what you were doing and things like that. But do you think that possibly that we will see a little bit of a carryover? Because like last winter, it was actually pretty booming, right? Granted, we have a lot of like unprecedented times. We don't know what's going to be happening. It's like kind of like there's no protocol with how we're going to have to react to if there is a second wave or like if it gets worse. Do you really think it is going to just like get sparse like it was before and make it 10 times worse for that inventory? And then in turn, do you think the new build is going to kind of like step up the game to kind of give that inventory that the existing homes is lacking?
Yeah. So lots of questions there.
That was a loaded.
Yeah, a lot of loaded ones. I'll try to pick them off bit by bit. So, So, I mean, what we're experiencing right now is that, people have pretty much come to terms with their home needs have changed, right? Like they're homeschooling now, they're working from home now, home needs have changed. And so they're wanting to be where they need to be to accommodate this new life that we're in, right? So that is going to, I think, continue to drive demand no matter the weather. That I don't think that that's going to be impacted by winter or not. But tend to what happens in the winter is that people just sort of settle into the routines. They figure things out. They get comfortable, okay, fine, which may result in just a little bit pullback of the inventory. But at the same time, you also get buyers that are not willing to make the move during the colder months. So it really, I think, will just kind of balance itself out. In terms of new construction and what's going on right now, materials are still pretty high, for the price of materials. So to try to get that deal with that little room to negotiate, builders aren't making huge margins like they were back in the early 2000s and 90s on these houses. The margins for builders are much smaller. So we're seeing even new construction prices pretty well sticking to their guns.
Yeah, they're going through the roof, if you ask me. I mean, appreciation's been that way across Southeast Michigan, across the United States. Some interesting statistics out there. Actually, roughly 390,000 fewer homes for sale. That's globally, of course, here in the United States. So that's an interesting number. That's 39% fewer homes for sale, driving up the price of all the houses that are on the marketplace. And I think you're right, guys. I think you're going to get a couple more months here where it's just gangbusters like it's been. Maybe they take off for Christmas season. But last year, Becky, you mentioned it, January and February before the pandemic kicks in, it was a really busy year. It was the start of a great 2020. And then things really got scared. Of course, February, end of February, March, a little quieter April. And then, of course, the crazy rush. Boy, the pandemic has proven to be a powerful source for people saying, I don't want to be cooped up here in this 1,000 square foot rental. I want a piece of the American dream. I want to get out there and own my own backyard and start doing the improvements and getting my space. And Michelle, we see it with the schooling. No doubt as school kicked in here, you could be anywhere and teach your school. So the school districts have no boundaries really anymore. And you even see some families, they're schooling the kids up north. They've taken them away to other places, their second homes, and they're able to exist up there and really have a nice lifestyle. Again, a little bit more freedom. You know, the weather's really been cooperating with us, guys. And did you hear the great news? Movie theaters, ice rinks to reopen again. We're all running a little scared with the cautiousness, of course, of the pandemic. I want everyone to be safe and healthy. You don't need a house if you're in the ground, guys. But yeah, Governor Gretchen Whitmer did announce yesterday, that movie theaters that have been closed since March will reopen on October 9th. So some good news out there. Ice arenas. I think we're getting closer and closer. And again, if there's no second wave that hits us, it should just be a continuation of this great home buying season as mortgage rates, Becky, stay all-time lows.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't actually hear that. I mean, I feel like I was like working all day.
I know.
So I didn't hear,
when Harvey said that, I'm like, what?
Yeah, clearly I need to know what's going on in the world. But I think it is good that we are taking those steps. Obviously, you know, it's frustrating because we were put on a halt and people thought things needed to reopen. But obviously, I can see the other side of it, because what is the rush to reopen just to close it back down again? You know, same with like some of these kids that are in schools right now, right? You have face-to-face learning, and then you're having these outbreaks take place, and now they're right back to virtual learning, you know, so it's a lot of touch and go. I mean, so hopefully we can kind of keep our distance, but get back to normal, obviously, you know, and with the rates being as low as they are, and with them making an announcement that they're not foreseeing any increases other than for these refinance transactions in the near future. So if you are looking to refinance, you need to get up on it because change is coming.
You know, something else that Harvey touched on just kind of lightly is just about how, you know, people are now settled into their new routines. And I have seen quite a lot of second home purchases going on right now. I have a friend that said, Michelle, I hate winter. This COVID thing was the best thing that could have happened with my kids and my guilt about how do I spend my winters in Florida and still get my kids an education. She's like, guess what? We're going to be doing an Airbnb for like 60 days in Florida this year while we homeschool our kids. And she's looking at new homes in Florida while she's down there. She's like, you know what? This could be the new way of being. So yeah, like you said, people buying up north, buying those cottages. Holy moly. I've known so many people to buy second homes this year. It's just incredible. You know, just realizing the mobility is an option.
Yeah, mobility and of course the all-time low interest rates. Those are two motivating factors to go ahead and get yourself one of those second homes, a vacation home. And like you said, a lot of times when you're not even using it, your family can use it. You can share in the cost in some other ways. You can rent them out using Airbnbs and different things in the future. Again, a little scary now because of the pandemic, but if you're cleaning them properly and you handle everything in that and the order of the CDC, what they're telling you to do to keep them straight, you're going to maybe have some profitability there. Hey guys, economists have been warning people. They always do. It's the doomsdayers and stuff. They warn that this can't keep up, this pace. Well, okay, maybe this pace can't keep up, but what pace really will there be, Michelle? I mean, it's definitely a very fluid pace.
I wish I would have brought like my magic 8-ball or crystal ball or something like that to answer that. I mean, yeah, markets go up, markets come down, right? I mean, every that's just the nature of things. If you have an up, you have a down. There's just no other way around it. So, I mean, it's been a very, very long run. Really, here in Michigan, we started this uptick in 2011. And what are we looking at now? Down the barrel of 21. This is going to be like a 10-year run, you know, of an uptrending market. So will the market correct itself? Sure, eventually, but what's going to be the catalyst and why? We don't know. We really thought COVID would have been the why. It was not the why.
Hey, the housing market, the inventory shortage, guys, is definitely something we're going to talk about all morning here. You thought it was tough to get toilet paper in March and April. It's not that easy to get a house as we're still in end of August, September, October, multiple bids. We're going to get back and talk about purchasing a home, your strong approval letter, and a whole lot more. 248-539-9797. We'll be back.
Harry Glantz and Dan Burke from Capital Mortgage Funding. Over 30 years in the mortgage banking industry, hundreds of thousands of families served. Let us serve you. Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS 2289, equal housing lender. September 26th, what a gorgeous day out there. I don't know, we're getting ready for that colder weather coming around as fall's about to break in here in this home buying season, as we have Michelle Saward on from eXp Realty, and of course, Becky Alley from Capital Mortgage Funding. You guys, there's no doubt, last year was a really great year, 2019. Strong home buying season right to start off the year. And we were talking about that earlier, but really the theme of 2020 has been lack of inventory out there. 390,000 or 39% fewer homes on the market from a year ago today. And then we started talking about what's your opportunity in this marketplace? Things go up and down. Where are you? Are you looking to sell that vacation home because you already used it for 30 years? Or are you looking to maybe buy one? And Michelle, I like that. We're starting to talk about some different things that could come along here and how the opportunities all fall into different people's laps.
Yeah. This is, if you're considering selling that second home, this is such an opportune time. I mean, prices have not been higher since, 2005, maybe, when you're looking at value. So, I mean, if you're considering making that move, you might even consider selling now and getting into a temporary rental situation, selling that second home, because it could just be a matter of years before we start to see the market correct. I mean, they say, pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. So if it's not, don't be too greedy with what you've, made in the past 10 years in your real estate transaction. So could be a great opportunity.
248-539-9797. Becky Alley, there's some things looming. We don't know what's going on. We got an election coming up here. We got maybe a vaccine in another 6 to 12 months. Interest rates at all-time lows. A lot of things are affecting the economy right now, but also a lot of these families and, a large group of our population out there, self-employed people, the small business owners, they were stuck with 50 to 75% capacity. They were shut down for a long time. I don't know what everyone did with their PPE money, and it sure sounds like a lot of people got. I didn't get any of this PPE money, but it eventually runs out. But without the government support, they would have already been in trouble. What's going to happen here in the next 6-7 months? We don't know.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, it's that part is also because it's like you're going to have that back lag of like, okay, we're opening up. That's cool. That's great. But then you have these self-employed people that were, operating at minimum capacity. Why they still have all these bills to pay, right? So you still got to pay somebody, but the money's not coming in like it was. So now, okay, you can open the doors, but you can't open the doors at maximum capacity, so you're still behind, right? So, they can only do so much. And so, I feel like we will see a little bit more of, unfortunately, we're going to see like who can sustain and who can't, because it is going to be an unfortunate, even with like that, it's like a tsunami, right? It's pushed back and then here comes the wave, because even though the money's finally coming in, they still got to get caught up. Like you got to pay somebody, and where's that money going to be coming from? So hopefully we can get that worked out. And, the small business owners, any business owners, like you have to support your local businesses, because, it's been unfortunate. We've all been a victim of circumstance, and we all been kind of, treading lightly, we've been blessed in this situation. Michelle, she's found different ways to conduct her business when they were on a virtual lockdown. But, unfortunately, there's been some real losses due to this pandemic, unfortunately.
Low mortgage interest rates definitely keeping the market moving along here. Michelle, home buying has gone through the roof. We see it continuing here, as even if the interest rates burp up a little bit over the next 6 to 12 months. I mean, there's no doubt that's going to keep the market going. Again, if the interest rates were 1 full % higher today, we would be just as busy. People's lifestyles change. Michelle, you pointed it out. They want ownership. The landlords out there are making a whole lot of money on rent. You're throwing your money away if you're currently renting. Again, if you're renting because it makes sense for you, God bless you, stick with it. But home ownership's the way to go. We see more and more young families getting together, a lot of marriages, maybe some families have grown recently, and that might be a great opportunity for you to take advantage of this unbelievable opportunity. And buying a house, Becky, it could be a lot of fun. Like half of our clients literally close in less than 30 days, have smiles on their faces. And then the other half, maybe not so much, because you're not getting prepared for your mortgage. And Becky, our job is to get people prepared. Talk about it a little bit, getting your ducks in a row. We always use some of these different sayings out there, but if you've got a credit issue, a funds issue, Becky, help me.
Oh my God, the self-sabotagers, don't be that person. Okay. If you're thinking about buying a home, even a second home, you don't have to have 20% down. You can put as little as 10% down and buy that second home, right? But be that as it may, you need to start the conversation sooner than later, because you can't buy houses right now on sunshine and rainbows, especially because of what is happening in the world. Things are going to be vetted 10 times more. So if you thought a home buying process was invasive prior, it's 10 times more that, because we need to make sure that you're still employed, because people were going back to work and being laid off temporarily, or they're on furlough, or they decided that they're going to take time off for their families. So definitely get your ducks in a row, because if you're signing a 30-day purchase agreement, and I know Michelle is going to attest to this, if you give me a 30-day purchase agreement and you have a 10-day inspection period, then that gives me, I'm down to 20 days. And then if you take 5 more days to get me your signed documents, your W-2s, your updated pay stubs, and whatever I've been hounding you for, I now have 15 days to turn a transaction. Can we do it? Yes. But then you also have title companies that are taking 2 weeks to get title commitments to us. You know what I'm saying? So everyone wants to blame it on the lending institution, but it's collectively as a whole, the industry is functioning at its maximum capacity. So do yourself a favor, listen to your loan officer, whether it's Capital Mortgage Funding or whomever. Let us help me help you. Michelle.
Hey, Michelle, the sellers are getting more money, Michelle. So what's happening is our buyers need to reach into their 401ks. They got to get a gift from mom or dad. You know, we waited to get that appraisal for 10 to 14 days, and now we got it. And guess what? You overbid the house by 20 grand. So now we might have to reach in and get that gift. Things do take a little bit longer. Yeah, and just because of what's going on, because of lack of inventory, then now maybe we're overpaying for the house a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, and what Becky is saying too, I mean, there's so many moving parts in this process. It's not just the mortgage company. What she was saying, like title companies are taking longer. The legal system was completely slowed down and backlogged for 4 months. So that directly affects title. That affects anything with like probate in the county and, you know, receiving information, because I tell you what, with those types of businesses, it's priority and it's first come, first serve. So it's not just on the financing end of it. That's just a piece of the puzzle. So yeah, I mean, definitely give some grace in it. Absolutely get your ducks in order. I'm saying this publicly. I'm in the middle of a buy-sell transaction myself. Oh. Holy moly, I'm self-employed. This is, I empathize now. I haven't moved in 15 years. I'm like the most empathetic realtor to people right now, because what has changed, I mean, I buy and sell rental properties and so forth all the time, but holy moly, what has changed with the self-employed and what you need because of COVID is just a totally different animal. So
you said it better than us then.
I'm giving y'all these self-employed people trying to buy and sell hugs right now. I just don't even know. It's a dot your I's, cross your T's game. And we can, completely set you up for that. So like Becky said, don't send her a purchase agreement with a 30-day close on it unless you're ready to roll, because she's going to rock with it. So
I only got one of those this week. Not too bad. Hey, bonds opened up yesterday morning, slightly stronger. I mean, the bond market, mortgage-backed securities are hanging tough. Rates are still great. I'm more scared about the Lions tomorrow than mortgage rates significantly changing. Will they burp up a little bit probably over the next couple of weeks as we head into, Becky, as you know, the adverse market condition on the refinances? You might not see it as much on purchases, but yeah, everyone, most of the lenders across the country have worked in the adverse fee. If you're not familiar with it, call us at Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE. We'll save you the money anyways and make sure that you understand every step of the way. And that's the key, is really getting some knowledge behind you, making the whole purchase transaction a lot of fun and easy. Things pop up. I've had, like I said, and anyone out there is doing a lot of business, you're going to have some tougher transactions. And one of the reasons why is many of the lenders out there, Becky, including ourselves, is we're trying to get clients conventional mortgages where they're younger, they don't have established credit, they don't have a lot of money they're working with. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But it could be one of those two factors. And an FHA, lower credit scores due to that. And an FHA offer is really just as strong as any offer out there. And again, the name of the mortgage might scare some real estate agents away, Michelle. It's our job to educate the real estate. Yeah. We don't have that kind of contact. I used to pop into an EXP real office or something, or we would have these discussions or these get-togethers, and we would discuss changes and things in the marketplace. But things are a little bit different now. It's great to share good information.
I wrote down, actually, this is one of the things I wanted to talk about today, was FHA and VA loans. I actually just talked about this with my team this week, as a matter of fact. So a lot of homeowners are very concerned before they put their property up on the market, making sure they're getting that concrete taken care of, right? Doing the peeling paint and, all these little things that need to be done. So I guess when we come back from the break, I want to go over why that might not be such a big worry.
Oh, I like that one. Get a professional real estate agent like Michelle Saward involved. She'll tell you what to do to your house to get it all set up so you can sell it and get top dollar. Don't push all these buyers out the door. Hey, an FHA buyer is just as strong as a VA buyer or a conventional buyer. We'll tell you more. 248-539-9797.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Danberg from Capital Mortgage Funding. Over 30 years in the mortgage banking industry, hundreds of thousands of families served. Let us serve you. Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's a Hardcore Mortgage Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm Harvey Freed. We got Becky Alley from Capital Mortgage. Michelle Saward, eXp Realty. Always great to have Michelle on. Tons of information. 2 shows always going on. The one at the break. And we just keep sharing all this information to help your home ownership go a little bit smoother, Michelle. And it's really fun. You know, we are in a 50-50 world. Everything's 50-50. 50% of the clients are enjoying it. 50% are completely stressed out. And that's why having a great real estate agent in there, listing side, selling side. Yeah. Michelle, we were talking about some things, and Becky and I threw this out. A conventional appraiser goes out to the house and finds black mold. Now, This is, Michelle, could you imagine the family's living there, so that maybe their kids are ingesting this stuff. Maybe it's bad mold. Maybe it's just black in color, but it's not that bad. How about cleaning it up before you list the house? How about the listing agent telling them, hey, clean this up? The inspector, hey, clean this up. How about 4 to 6 different people? Hey, get in front of the bus. You can really do a lot of things if you have the knowledge behind you, Michelle. Great agents serve a great purpose.
Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted to talk about, and what we sort of tail end of the break is that you can solve a lot of problems with having the right information in advance. So there's plenty of homeowners who immediately would think, oh my goodness, I can't put my home on the market until I fix X, Y, and Z. Well, bravo for you for thinking that way. That is right thinking. That I don't want to change that thinking at all, but I also want to emphasize that we are in a low inventory situation. So having a real estate agent come out in advance to say, where is the highest and best return of my dollar? What should I spend money on? What should I not? What should I fix? What should I not? Is completely worth your while to do. So we might be having conversations of like, hey, you know what? You're going to want to dry lock the basement and clean out this corner where the boxes were stacked against the wall. Fine. That is definitely a good idea, but it's September, end of September. You might not need to worry about these cracks in the driveway, and we can still sell it to an FHA or a VA buyer, right? You're not going to be able to get a contractor right now pulling permits. Good luck getting contractors on board. We can solve that problem with an as-is sale or with an escrow. We can, how are we going to position this for a win? Is conventional and cash the only way to go? Are FHA, VA, rural development buyers in your wheelhouse? If so, what's it going to take to put that in alignment for you? If we can give you advice about the best way to go about the sale, you're going to win. As I mentioned, I'm in the middle of a buy sell myself. I didn't know I was going to be buying a house. I slipped on a banana peel and I'm buying a house. This is what happened. And I was in the middle of redoing my entire back deck. I spent almost $17,000 in materials to redo my back deck. And I thought to myself, I wasn't going to buy a house. I was in the middle of doing a deck. Right. And I thought, why am I not taking my own advice? Okay, hold up. I'm not redoing the deck to my standards. I'm going to redo the deck to the standard of the sale. And so, which was really just, okay, I'm not going to rip the whole thing out. I'm going to change a few boards and I'm going to paint it, which is what I did a couple years ago. I'm doing that again. But it's just sort of taking a step back and getting a second set of eyes. I mean, I've had many homeowners that try to go way over the top and then they're frustrated and aggravated that they're not seeing the dollar return on it. So just get a real estate agent out there in advance before you even put it up on the market, and they'll help you get your head together about it.
Yeah, like to piggyback on that. So like right now there's a lot of change happening, right? So we keep talking about like, are you going to stay or are you going to go, right? Does your current home meet the needs of what you want now that we might have to stay in it, or now that we're forced to spend a lot more time in the house, right? Does your home fit those needs? So are you going to now in turn renovate your own home, or are you going to look for a house that's been newly renovated that has all those things, right? So to me, like I've redone my whole entire house to me, and I probably over improved it at this point because I know that I'm going to stay here and that's fine, right? But if for someone like what Michelle's saying, the idea of I'm not going to over improve my house because I'm not going to get my money back for it. So I'm going to improve it to the market of homes that are selling similar to mine with these upgrades. And that's where you need to get with a agent that's going to help you with that, because you can't just like make your house into Taj Mahal. Be like, oh, I got a $50,000, bathroom, and they only gave me $20,000 for it, because that's just what someone is going. That's what that improvement is going for in the area. So you got to be careful if you're thinking about selling and while you're doing these home projects, because you might not get what you put into it. But if you were putting into your home to enjoy it, then who cares? If you're going to stay, who cares? Yeah, who cares? Yeah. But Yeah.
Materials are just going through the roof. Yeah, 50% up on
True.
materials, probably 50% up on the labor if you can even get those people out. And you don't call them out for one project. If you're going to sell your house, go ahead with the professional agent. You list it all down there. Now you can have that contractor come, or a handyman. Some great handy guys out there too that can knock off a lot of things. You know, you spend $1,000 or $2,000, you get maybe $5,000 in return on that. You mentioned it, Michelle. Maybe address that driveway now. You can pull out some of the slabs. You can go get some quickcrete. You can do a lot of repairs now. Still got a couple months. What'd you say, mud jack?
Mud jacking? Yeah.
Get out there with a mud jack, right? Yeah. Bring the whole cement truck in and drop a whole new driveway in. But no, it's hard to get workers. I talked to a staffing guy out there. A lot of staffing companies. They have jobs to fill, but it's hard to get employees. A lot of people have been collecting $16 an hour with the unemployment and the extra money the state was kicking in. It's hard to get these jobs filled up at $15, $20 an hour. And again, driving up the cost of labor because a lot of these jobs are more of the entry level jobs. But boy, oh boy, they paying good. I surely didn't make $15 an hour when I was young. And I'm getting ready. I yell at my kids every day to obviously, hey, you got to get a job here. You got to start making some money. But there are some opportunities out there. And again, but labor is hard to find. 248-539-9797. We want to dive into cash out refinancing because, Becky, that's what people are doing. They're pulling out their equity, and they're going to do it throughout the holiday season because who can resist going to Amazon and all these different places and spending money? Spend your money online at your local shops. Again, I announced it earlier. The movie theaters, ice rinks are reopening. Things are starting to reopen. Wear the freaking mask so that we can keep things open. Don't be one of these crazy people on Facebook and all that. The videos are out of control now. Wear the mask or don't, whatever your situation is. Don't go out of the house if you can't wear it, I guess. I don't know. But with that being said, Becky, people are pulling the equity out of their house, definitely. They're doing some great home projects with it. But you got to get the contractor signed up. And again, then we have that winter thing coming in here where some of the projects have to be delayed till the springtime.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just like we were talking about prior, you know, like you can use the equity in your home for, I mean, we don't advise you to use it as a piggy bank. We're also not here to spend your money for you, but we're here to give you our best advice on what we think is going to be best suited for you. So if we can pay off some of your debt and save you $1,000, great. I'm the kind of person, I know Harvey's the same way. We're going to have that conversation like, look, we might save you $1,000, but if this credit card debt is where it is a year from now, then now you're in a worse off position than you started with, you know, so the rates are very, very low. You can make smart, really good financial decisions and use your home to like as the catalyst to get you there. You know, same with doing these home improvements, but you got to expect your home renovation to maybe cost up to 50% more, take 50% longer because the cost of materials, you know, they are going up exponentially. And, you know, you got to make sure that if you think you're going to sell your house in the next 5 years, that you're not over improving, right? Also, if you just got done doing these renovations, the best time to list your house, and I'm going to kick it over to Michelle for this one, I think would be right after you've done these renovations. You just got a bathroom done, you just got your kitchen done. If you're thinking about selling, I think that'd be the best time to list it because that could be the home that the next family is looking for, and you can get top dollar and maybe get what you put into it.
Well, that's like the chicken and the egg conversation for sure, because it's, you know, contractors are difficult to get. And if you've got them and the work is done, oh, you're winning because that's the last thing a new buyer wants to do is walk in and, you know, try to line up contractors and renovate. So yeah, if you've got a turnkey house, aces in the hole.
I mean, it's already fall and look at outside. What a gorgeous day we got ahead of us here. Go out there, be safe. If you're hitting the golf course, hit them straight. A couple of the boaters still out there saying, hey, maybe another 3 or 4 weeks of this. I know it's going to cool down this next and coming week, but what a great year we've had. But this pandemic just sort of flew by because we had this great weather maybe this summer. And hopefully, as we continuously talk about opening up, a little salute out there to all Michiganders. You hung in there, folks. That's right. We got the weddings are going to be open up to maximum capacity. Movie theaters, ice rinks. We're back to almost normal. 248-539-9797. We'll be right back.
Hi, Harry Glanz Danberg from Capital Mortgage Funding. Over 30 years in the mortgage banking industry, hundreds of thousands of families served. Let us serve you. Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
Oh, what a gorgeous day outside. I got to lower my thing here. All righty, there we are, guys. Live on 97.1 The Ticket. It's a Hardcore Mortgage Show. Again, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. I'm Harvey Feed, Becky Alley hanging in there with me today. We got tons of sports coming up at 11. We got Pat Caputo after this. Got the Michigan replay game. We're going to have, who is that? You said Indiana? Michigan, Indiana, 1979, man. I was around. I don't remember it being a great, maybe that's the AC catch. I think that's the AC catch. Anyways, keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. After that, it'll be some Tiger baseball and keep it here all day long. A lot of fun stuff. We're giving you some mortgages and real estate, always talking outside of the break here. And just, it's really exciting to own a house in today's marketplace. We left the break and we had the Clash playing, should I stay or should I go? Michelle, you did it yourself. Again, sometimes having that real estate agent just show up. They say, you know what, guys, it's the seller's market now. You're selling. If the house isn't quite what you need to make it, again, we can't get contractors out for another year. You don't have the room for the kids. Sell it to a new couple. Maybe they're just starting off and that house would be perfect, right, Michelle, for someone else?
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things where the inventory is low. It doesn't need to be perfect, but it needs to be positioned in the best possible way for you to drive that traffic. Something else I want to tag on here and just mention is that a lot of people are saying, okay, this market is just white hot. It's popping and it's fast. Oh, I can just sell it myself. Becky, you can back this up. You see the appraisals as they come across your desk, that they're leaving often a lot of money on the table, because if you're not getting that exposure on your house, you're missing the opportunity to have multiple offers. And as I like to say, choose the shiny, fattest puppy of the litter. Who's the buyer that's going to be the best qualified? Maybe they're going to give you an appraisal guarantee over asking. You're going to have a couple choices of who to choose from. So maybe if your house is not in tip-top shape, you're going to want to work with somebody who is financially, with a greater down, or that they're going to be able to pay for some of these repairs that are needed to make the deal go through. So it's just nice to have options. It's just so nice to have options. And the good news is, if you pick one, which I have happened going on right now, you've got 2 or 3 other buyers that are maybe waiting in the wings. If that number one deal falls apart due to a bad inspection, you've got somebody else, other people you can call immediately without having to remarket your home and put it back on again.
Oh, exactly. A whole backup plan to protect your mental health. Also, Michelle, hire a professional real estate agent. Becky Alley, what do you got on that?
You get what you pay for. There's a lot of moving parts on real estate transactions. It's not just, you can Google things and all that stuff, but you got home inspections. You have, do you know what your bottom line is going to be? Some people don't even know about transfer tax in Michigan when they're selling the homes, right? They think, oh, well, I thought I was going to get XYZ for my proceeds. And guess what? Everyone's in your pocket sometimes when you're buying and selling real estate. And, when you're a seller, you need to be with a professional that's going to help you through these things. Do you need a private home inspection? What is your bottom line going to be? How much is your transfer tax? Do you have to pay transfer tax? The answer is yes, you do. But, if you got someone like Michelle on your side, she's going to be looking at those offers, and maybe one of the buyers is offering to pay your transfer tax as an incentive for you to pick their offer. Those are things that a real estate professional like Michelle is going to be able to zero in on for you to make sure that you're getting the top dollar for your house. And like she said, you're not leaving money on the table, because that would be a sad thing in a seller's market.
Yeah, nearly 69% of all the homes that were sold were on the market for less than 30 days. What other stat? 22 days compared to 31 days last year. So the homes are going to sell quick. And the reason why they're selling quick is, like I said, Michelle, the agents have already marketed the home. So there's several buyers already lined up for it. Sometimes, whatever reasons, it just doesn't work out for one family. The next buyer can jump right in there. Selling on your own, yeah, good luck to you. If you've done it before, if you know what you're doing, you understand title companies, you understand the cost involved. If you got someone to hold your hand, good luck, give it a try. You might end up doing okay, maybe not. More than often, we hear that you're better off hiring the pros, and that's what we always suggest, hire the pros. And then when you're usually selling your house, Michelle, the key is that you've already been working with the agent. She's got you on the portal. He's got you on the portal. We already have been looking at all these different opportunities, because your home's going to sell within 30 days. Now, where do you go, Michelle?
Where do you go? That's exactly the question. Where do you go? It's making sure that you've got that teed up and lined up in advance. So the way I operate is, I even tell people, hey, don't even list your home for sale until you get your pre-approval. This is just some recommended advice. I don't ever have people become homeless unless it's intentional homelessness. So, we're not going to leave you high and dry. Building in some extended occupancy. When you're talking about, do you know all the, nuts and bolts? We're just scratching the surface on the nuts and bolts. I mean, I was talking to another client this week that had no idea that different counties tax in different ways. She had never heard of the word taxing in arrears before. Okay. Yeah. That was kind of a big one. That was about a $4,000 mistake that she didn't understand. And so all those things add up. Did you lose out on the multiple offers? Did you understand how the property taxes were assessed? There's so many moving parts to this that until you're really in it day in, day out, 60 hours a week, right, Becky?
Probably more than that. There's no sleeping in the real estate market right now. We're not sleeping. We don't talk to no one. We literally are dialed in all the time. That's the difference between people that are successful and people that are not. We talked about that before, right? The real success happens behind the scenes when you're working, when no one else is seeing it. And that's why we're working hard for you to make sure that we're getting you in the best financial positions possible. Michelle's trying to get you the top dollar when you're buying your house. We're also making sure that you're not going to be homeless, because right now, timing is everything, right? Whether you're going to stay in your house or go, whether you're going to list it and, buy a house, it's all about timing, and it all has the sun, the moon, and the stars has to align, and we're the ones going to hold it together.
There's nothing like mortgages and real estate out there. I'll tell you, that's why we've been doing the show for 20 years, and we appreciate everyone listening in, of course, and sharing their stories with us. It's been exciting times here as the mortgage and real estate market completely rebound from 2007, 2008, 2009. We talked to many families now that have already repurchased after their bad situation, after they lost their job and went through these horrible times. And again, the new buyers out there, they're like scratching. I don't even bring it up to them anymore. They're like, huh? I was born in 2004, Harvey. What are you talking about? It's like they don't have, that might have been a little bit, maybe they were born a little bit before that, but no doubt families don't want to hear what happened in the past. They just want to know what they can do to protect themselves. And right now, Michelle, you better have some knowledge behind you, because all the new buyers I'm working with, we're seeing what's going on out there. One buyer last week, wonderful house, wants to live in the city of Detroit. Great, everything perfect except the $20,000 it needs to make this house work at that purchase price. He had to walk away from it, and it's probably the best movie he's ever made. Yeah, there's some investor on that house in San Francisco. I talked to the poor boy named Rich. He knows nothing about the Detroit market, overpaid for the house, and doesn't even realize what he's got there, and probably could have made a deal work. And then another great story of a family that missed out on a house here in Oakland County in Ferndale, in a great city, and then really found a way better location. Something we always tell our buyers out there, Becky and Michelle, hey, what's meant to be is meant to be. And sometimes the one you miss out on, that could be a blessing for you.
Yeah. I had the same pep talk with one of my clients last night, because she's getting into multiple offers and losing and getting kind of frustrated with the low inventory. I had the conversation with her last night. She's going to be like, what? I'm like, hi, Courtney. Hi, Courtney. About, don't become distraught. You need to keep in your mind that the house you're going to buy right now, the seller is painting the family room. They ripped out the carpet, and garbage night is not until Wednesday. So
right on.
It's coming your way for good reason. So just be patient.
All right, get your funds together. Make sure your employment history is pretty good. Make sure there's no gaps in your employment. Things you can explain. Lack of credit, get a credit card now. You can get a secured credit card. You can get a credit card as a co-signer with somebody. You can build your credit up. Things you can really do over the next 12 months to make yourself a better mortgageable person. Maybe you could go ahead and get that conventional loan if you move that credit score up just a little bit. That's one of the things too. A lot of times it's not that we can't get you a conventional loan, but your credit score is so low, it makes it rather expensive. Private mortgage insurance kicks in. I don't want to make it too complicated. All you need to know is get the professionals involved, get your credit together, and stop becoming a renter. If you don't need to be a renter out there, go ahead and take a look at home ownership. The pandemic has brought out a lot of different emotions and opportunities. Who doesn't want to have a backyard, Becky, with a pool in it?
This girl right here wants one. I mean, honestly, it's just the same thing we're talking about, where people are looking to buy those second homes, right? If you're going to be quarantined, why not be quarantined on your own compound, right? Your own lake, your own backyard that's got a private oasis. I mean, so, it's the pandemic has been a catalyst to change your views. What do you want out of the house? Is your current home hitting you with all of those wants and needs? Are all your boxes being checked? And if hiring a contractor in 2022 is not a option, because that's how long you're probably going to be taking, then we need to get you hooked up with a real estate agent so that way you can start looking for that second home that maybe it just finished the renovations and find that perfect, say the dining room, the extra bedroom, and
a little room to negotiate.
right?
And a little bit of room to negotiate. That's a good one. Michelle Saward, the great Michelle Saward, eXp Realty. Always fun to have you on, Michelle. And again, all these great real estate agents out there. You got to find one like Michelle. If not, call us at Capital Mortgage at Funding at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. We're just about out of time here. So again, we want you to keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket, 248-539-9797. Get your phones all lined up. We got Pat Caputo coming up with sports and social commentary for Capital Mortgage Funding. We'll see you next Saturday.
You there?
Yeah, they cut us off like 30 seconds.
Yeah, they did. It's like, oh, see ya. Over. Okay. All right. Good. So, yeah, I sent you guys
Thanks, guys.
what I'm buying. Did you see it?
No, I didn't look yet.
Oh, okay. Check your text. That's what I'm buying. Did Harvey just hang up? Is that his goodbye?
No, he's got to hurry up and get out of there so Cat Caputo can get in. Wow, this is gorgeous, girl. Ooh, wait.
Isn't that gonna be fun?
Yes. Good for you.
I know. So I'm gonna go in. I made my list of stuff I want to do.
I mean, it's gorgeous though.
Thank you.
Like it's gorgeous. I mean, like obviously make it to your taste, whatever, but I mean, this is really nice, Michelle.
No, it is. Yeah. I'm excited. I literally had, I met this person at an open house in February. They were looking to downsize. And she sent me a text right before the holiday and said, hey, we just listed our home for sale. And I was like, what? You know? And then I realized, oh, she's selling it by owner. And then I said, let me look at it for myself or for, you know, maybe somebody I know.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap. I like this. And so, yeah. And then that was like the couple days before the holiday at the beginning of the month. And then we were packing up to go on the boat. And my neighbor rode his bike over here. And I said, yeah, we're going to be moving. And he goes, I'm buying it. And he went home on his bike and he got his checkbook and he made me write a deposit and he bought my house cash.
Wow. That's freaking awesome.
You guys are still hot.
We're hot.
So literally, yeah. So
we're hot. We're still hot. We're live.
Oh, we're just talking to, it's just Roberto. We're fine.
No, Dave said he heard us. We're still hot on the radio. My sister's calling. Okay, goodbye.